Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. It's Everything South Dade. My name is Julio Guzman, and I have the pleasure of being with the one and only Grant Miller.
South Dade, I'm born and raised in Dade County.
Yeah.
And South Dade, to me, is like my backyard. Years ago, people used to say even these people now, they think South Dade starts at Kendall.
Right.
Where does South Dade start for you?
South Dade really starts at anything south of Kendall Drive. It's really what we consider South Dade. But now, with the way traffic is, sometimes you think of going to Cutler Bay. That's kind of what South Dade really is. So when people talk South Dade, we want to make sure that they understand it's usually anything south of Kendall. A lot of great things going on in South Dade. I'm always here to highlight some of the great things that are happening. Recently, FP&L had a bid to start a liquid natural gas farm out in Homestead, and they were able to get it through approved on the first reading. So I think that may eventually happen, and that's going to give an alternative.
First reading to who? The county?
To City Council of Homestead. Right.
So FP&L is working really hard for the people of state of Florida.
Correct.
They have a farm out in Redland area.
Remember with the goats eating up the grass?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Solar farm.
Okay, let's talk about Homestead Hospital.
Homestead Hospital has done an amazing job. They are we're one of the only places that we're great to have a hospital in Homestead. And also the CEO there, Ken Spell, is doing an amazing job with his staff. They do tremendous work for our community. They're involved in the community. So we're really grateful to have Homestead Hospital as part of our organization.
I know you grew up there. James Archer Smith. What is it now? That's the old hospital.
That is now what they consider Mast Academy. So it's a magnet school. So you go by there and you see, Mast Academy, this big old hospital, but a lot of really great students come out of that school, and it's a lot of people want to get into that school, and it's not so easy to get in. So I'm glad that we've got magnet schools down in Homestead as well.
Homestead, and we're talking about Homestead, but South Dade, it is the impact. How many people are moving there? It's some beautiful, beautiful buildings. I have to bring it up, Pinecrest Bakery. That's like 220.
Yeah.
It is mammoth.
Yeah.
They have a restaurant, they have a bakery, and then they have an outside cheeky hut. I have to tell the people, the Valdez's family. So I had a meeting, Cutler Bay Business Association. It was starting at 11:30. I got there at 11:15, of course. Right? Vince Lombardi says on time 50 minutes. But so I had to eat. My meal was at 11:30, so I had a piece of chocolate cake. Holy cow.
From Pinecrest Bakery?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
You can have your eyes closed and you can taste their food and know exactly where it's from.
Yeah, outstanding food. So, not every city has their own hospital.
Right.
Homestead, South Dade have their own hospitals.
Right.
You're very lucky.
Extremely lucky. And not only are we lucky to have them, but the way that they get involved with the community, they're involved with the South Dade Chamber of Commerce. They're involved with just about every civic organization down there. And that's them giving back to the community. They don't just want to be a hospital and say, everybody come. No, we're going to be involved.
Yeah. The former CEOs, Bo Bollinger, Wayne Bracken, and Bill Duquette was there for a lifetime. We grew up back to back, our houses. Did I say that?
Bill Duquette?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Being back when I grew up, there was no fences. So he was
just walk into his yard.
Right. He was 2 yards across, but you didn't think of it that way. You walk from the behind and you never, so it's like not cutting through. There's no fences. Yeah. So his brother and I were friends. And
Bill Duquette is awesome too. I've got a nephew who was interested in getting into the medical field. So my relationship with Bill Duquette, I said, hey, would you mind if we went just to, kind of see what doctors do? Bill Duquette set it up. My nephew got to see exactly what doctors do. And it kind of shaped the way he wanted to go through college. So wow. Bill Duquette's that guy. And we also just gave scholarships to the Rotary Club of Homestead. I'm part of Rotary Club of Homestead, and we gave 20 scholarships to very qualified students. And Bill Duquette was one of the announcers saying, congratulations to the students at the Homestead Miami Speedway.
We have 11 newspapers, from Aventura to Cutler Bay, but you have a newspaper down in South Dade. Can you talk about it?
It's a South Dade News Leader. It's anytime you want to know what's really happening, in town, that's the paper that you get. And Dale is awesome. His crew is awesome. Charlie, Hudson, they are really good journalists, and that newspaper is what keeps me in tune with what's happening. And matter of fact, I'm going to spend some advertising dollars over with Dale as well.
Wow, that's tough for you because you are. But South Dade News Leader does a great job covering South Dade. It's Homestead, South Dade. It used to be a little community. Now it's mammoth.
So I get their paper every
So
day.
shout out to Dale. Keep up the good work. All right, Miami-Dade College. What's happening with that?
Miami-Dade College, they're introducing new programs. They want to open it up a little bit so that the students start to come get a little bit more diverse education. So the other day I was asking, are they going to start having programs, vocational programs? And they've got those things in the works as well. They're also going to have leadership seminars. I don't know if you know, there's a gentleman down there, Chief Becking. You remember Chief Becking? He used to be the chief of the base.
Chief Becking?
Yeah.
No, he's a Dairy Queen. That chief?
Yes, him. So
really? You think of course he has great shakes, served the military for a long time.
Him and his wife Kimberly are awesome. He does phenomenal leadership seminars, and I think they're going to do a program for leadership seminars at Miami-Dade, and he might be spearheading that project.
Good people.
Yeah, awesome. Genuine.
There's another thing that South Dade has. It has its own college.
Yeah.
It's South Dade has changed so much. You got your own college, your own hospital, you got your own magnet program. So hats off. And Homestead South Dade, I think, has the highest penetration of public and charter schools. Yeah. There's so many charter. There's more high school football teams in Homestead South Dade. It's incredible.
And when you talk about colleges, Miami-Dade is probably ranked at one of the best colleges. Miami-Dade College. You can talk about that with pride anywhere you go.
That is correct. When I went to, it's like you're a leftover. Yeah, you couldn't get anywhere else, Miller? Oh, yeah, well. So, all right. You got some things going on in the library. You got a famous library.
We have the one and only Cybrarium, which is
one and only in Miami-Dade?
In the world. There is no other library like this. And I encourage all of you guys to at least check it out. Go down there. It's called the Cybrarium, right off of Chrome and Maury. So this is a traditional library, also including emerging technology. You can go to this library and now with a 3D printer, and you can learn what 3D printing is. So you get there. There's also virtual reality where you can put on this headset and you can go anywhere in the world. You can go to the Vatican. You can go to Shanghai. You can go. It's phenomenal. And I encourage you to go there.
I have to circle back with Miami-Dade College. The biggest challenge we have for young adults, I don't know what I want to do.
Yeah.
Whether in high school or college, a vocational program. We have Robert Morgan Vocational in high school, but we need these kids who don't know what to do. Let's get them in that vocational program. Teach them how to be an electrician, a plumber, whatever. Plumbers make more than you and I together.
And sometimes students don't know that. They don't know that these guys are earning a ridiculous amount of money right now. I had an electrician come to my house to do just a few things, and he said it's $75 an hour. I said, wow, when did that happen?
That including traveling time.
Yeah. So if these kids, and I can understand that, maybe you haven't really found your way, you haven't found exactly what you want to do, but when you have these alternative things that you can, dabble in, it starts to open up your mind, and you eventually find what you really like to do.
When I say travel time, they get paid travel to your place.
Just to get there.
Yeah, they have a minimum order. It's interesting about plumbing. A kid I went to high school with has a big old house. Yeah. He's a plumber. Works by himself. Giant.
Yeah.
So I call him one time after 5 o'clock. He's scramped. I don't work after 5.
That's it. I'm done.
He says, I work from 9 to 5. That is it. I do not do. And he says, no overtime. You don't have staff. He says, no. Wow. So point of it is, it's a great profession. I use plumbers, but there's plumbers.
He makes a great living.
Right? A plumber, electrician. So the vocational school, whether Miami-Dade, I think it's a very important part for the United States.
Also we need to talk about hurricane preparedness. We're in the season now. People should look at their roofs. People should get their plan in place. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to do. We're going to have a roofer here next week as well, so we can start talking about what things that you should be looking at when it comes to getting prepared.
Why don't you
get
hurricane. Baldwin English from FPL to come on with you and talk about tree trimming?
I think that would be great.
Baldwin, I know you're watching. You're next.
Yeah, Baldwin's up next. He's on deck.
All right. Baldwin English batting third for FPL, batting 295. Okay, transportation. Now, South Dade is lacking it. And everybody said, we need the rail. Well, rail's if we put rail, it'd take us 20 years, or 10 years, 15 years. We're going to put those buses in.
We want something.
The fast buses, they're going to put together the light, so you don't have to wait straight through.
Right.
Just like some subways, you go on number 4A and it takes you directly to city, wherever. They just had a
groundbreaking. I was present for that groundbreaking, and it was so great to see every level of government was there. Federal, state, local, municipal, everyone was there, because that's how important this is to South Dade. We need a solution, and I think this is our best first step forward.
That's correct. Carlos Jimenez, as mayor, pushed it forward. Yeah. Speak about transportation. I don't know who supplies the busing, but who supplies the busing from South Dade residents to the Keys? Is that Dade County does that, or does the Keys? I'm not sure, but I know that Mayor Wallace from Florida City, big shout out to Mayor Wallace. Big shout out to his wife. She's a nice one.
Greer too. Big shout out to Greer too. They have a program where people meet somewhere in Florida City, and they get bused down to Florida City to do whatever type of job, down to the Keys to do whatever type of jobs they got going on down there, and they bus them back.
Yeah, we need more of that. And more important than transportation, I know everybody wants transportation. It'd be much easier just to change the tax issues and have major companies move to Florida City, move to South Dade.
Yeah, that'll solve the problem of everybody commuting up north. But I do think it's starting to happen. With Amazon, coming down here. There is going to be.
They're building one in Homestead, right?
Yeah, they're building one in Homestead.
And they're building
two, actually.
And they built one. They're building one
right by the base.
Yeah, and they're building one at 136th Street next to London Square out near Tamiami Airport. So you're right. People are coming. We're the place to be.
Right. And we really, there's talent. There's talent in South Dade. We really want the business community to understand that there is talent, so you can create and you can expand your business down to the South Dade area, and there's going to be plenty of talent there for you guys to choose from. So I see it happening. I want it to continue. So I think we're on the right track.
Homestead, I call it Homestead, but the theater down there.
Showbiz Cinemas.
But they have the Seminole Theater. You have
the Seminole Theater as well.
What's happening with that?
Seminole Theater is they've had one of the best years, and this is through COVID. They've had one of their best years since they've opened. Catherine, who's the CEO there, she's
wonderful.
Yeah, she's doing a really good job.
Can you get her to come up here with you?
Absolutely. She'd love that.
I heard her speak here. She's incredible. She has an incredible team.
Yeah, the board too. They have a board called the Seminole Players. And you know how we like baseball here. So anytime there's a player involved, I'm like, that's a cool name. So the Seminole Players, they meet, they talk about things that they're doing, and they bring great shows. It's a great thing to have, that you don't have to drive up to the Adrian Art Center, or you don't have to go up to the Cutler Bay. You've got it right there in our small town in Homestead.
What's happening with racetrack? And the race has been going on, right?
Yeah.
It's busy, right?
Well, the racetrack, I was there the other day because the Rotary was giving out scholarships, and they were kind enough to put everyone's picture on the big screen.
Oh, no way.
And the big kicker of it all was they allowed all 20 of those parents to go for a few laps around the track in their cars.
And the Rotary winners.
Yeah. Not the Rotary winners, the scholarship parents.
Wow. How cool is that? So
they got a few chances to go around the track, which was awesome. That's a very, very cool track.
What's happening with I don't know what it's called. The old Cleveland Indian Stadium. What's happening down there?
Well, that's been demolished.
They knocked it down.
The stadium has been demolished. It wasn't doing anything for a long time, and the residents, they wanted that park to be something. So City of Homestead is thinking, and they're figuring out what they are going to do with that land.
There's some baseball fields still back there.
Yeah, there's baseball fields back there.
Kingsgate plays there, right?
Correct. But it's a very big parcel of land, and I know that something great for the community is eventually going to be there, because I think we need it. There's never too many parks. You want your kids to have options when it comes to parks and things like that.
They have so much land. Everybody goes to baseball tournaments, softball tournaments, soccer tournaments all over the state.
Right.
The challenge of Homestead is it's at the end of the state, right. So you don't have enough tourist attractions. But there's a possibility whoever takes that facility over.
I think so.
Okay, let's talk about the most important thing, other than money. Real estate. In Palmetto Bay, the average home sits from the day it lists to the day it closes 28 days.
Yeah.
Homestead has to be just one of the hottest.
It's one of the hottest, and that's why the last show that I did with the lender Andrea Curbello from Caliber Home Loans, it's how to prepare yourself to get a contract accepted. Because if you're in the market right now, it's a very frustrating time.
I understand that. Let's say we're bidding on a house, and I bid 30,000 more.
Right.
Then the appraisal doesn't meet it. Then you have to go back and forth.
But the concept of doing that is just so that at least you can lock it in, and then you've got another bite at the apple because you can negotiate instead of just, I didn't even get my foot in the door. So a lot of people are outbidding one another just so that they can get, the negotiating moment with the seller. So there are things that you can do to prepare yourself on how you can best position yourself to get accepted. And, sometimes, cash is king. If you're selling a house, somebody comes with cash, you could have 20 financed offers and they're probably not going to win.
It's interesting. Everybody says, well, I could sell it myself. Yeah, you can't sell a house yourself, but you still need somebody to help you do the closing costs, paperwork, it's not easy. Yes, you could sell the house, but you still have to then hire everybody to do the appraisal. They do this, correct?
So that's one of the things that, I commend the Miami Association of Realtors. They give you tools.
What's his name? David, who's the new president?
No, the CEO of the Miami Association of Realtors, her name is Teresa Kinney.
Teresa King.
And she is phenomenal. We are the largest association in the country, right? And it's because of the staff that she has and all of the tools that they provide. So whenever, someone is thinking about selling their house, if you're with the Miami Association of Realtors, you've already got exposure to like 51,000 realtors that are associated. And also the tools that they bring us, they are always the best in the industry. They give them to us to use as realtors so that we can provide the best marketing experience to our sellers. So big shout out to the Miami Association.
Well, I just want to make it clear, you talk about Otis, right?
Yeah.
But look who's watching.
Oh, there she is. Big shout out to Greer, Davis, Wallace. I see you. Good seeing you.
She is the bomb. If you want something done, she's at South Dade County. She's wonderful.
The most humble person you'll ever meet in your life.
Oh, absolutely.
Humble people.
And then you get David. Who's David?
David Abbutt, one of my old childhood friends. Big shout out to David. I see you, brother. Miss you, man. Want to give you a big hug. Okay. So, great things are happening in South Dade. I'm always grateful to come on this show and talk about South Dade. Let's keep it going. Let's get big businesses down the South Dade and let's continue to make it happen. All right.
Okay. So we went over transportation.
Yeah.
Apartments going up.
Yeah. A lot of them the corridor. Beautiful
ones.
In the corridor. Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
And well, the whole purpose of that, I'm assuming I haven't spoken to anyone directly on who's building those, but my assumption is they want a lot of density through the corridor so that people can start riding the bus rapid transit system up to Dayland and they can get, up to downtown Miami in a very short amount of time. So you're gonna create foot traffic. You're going to create more ridership. So it all depends on who you ask. In the city of Homestead, I know that they want to make sure that they organize and plan correctly so that we don't get a lot of traffic issues. So I think it's up to the local municipalities to decide, how they want to implement more density within their city.
So we had the Garzas here.
Yeah.
Let's talk about their program. Do you know anything about it?
Yeah. The MAC. They have a phenomenal program.
What?
Zip Garza.
Yeah, Zip Garza. He coaches AA baseball. Yeah. Thank you, Tommy, for coaches manager of the Lexington Legend. Yeah. Thank you very much, Tommy. So
Eddie Garza is doing great over there as well. The programs that they have for the farm workers, it's from top to bottom: education, work, arts, whatever you need in life. The MAC, Mexican American Council, has something for you. They even have educational seminars for parents as well.
And you don't have to be Mexican.
No. You don't have to be Mexican.
It's like the YMCA. When my friend was the executive director, he says, we need to take the M out. We need to take the C out. It's just YA. He says, the Mexican what's it called?
Mexican American Council
was built to help the migrants, correct?
Right.
Now it's not just Mexicans, it's everybody, correct?
So when I went to their graduation that they had just a few weeks ago, this graduation was at Schnebley's Winery. I hadn't seen a graduation that well organized in a very long time. So they made that moment extremely special for everyone that was getting that was graduating, and that is the degree. That's how they do things. They do it at a different level.
No, they had 3 boys, correct?
Yeah.
And the mother's name is
Maria Garza.
I call her President. President Garza. They are dedicated in making our whole community a better place.
Yeah, and they've been doing it for so long that it's very natural for them, and they've kind of created the blueprint on what it really means to have or to give back to the to your community. So I don't see anybody doing it better than them.
No, they are
top-notch.
They're just wonderful people. All right, so Homestead has their own power company. Most people don't know that,
right?
And the Keys have their own power company. What is it? Is there any advantage? Oh, look who responded there.
Big Banks, Noah Will Banks.
Noah Will Banks, all the way from. He used to live in South Dade, but now he's in. He calls.
He lives in Gainesville, right?
He says he calls it God country in Gainesville. Noah Woodbanks runs the FCA up there. He is one of the most incredible people. So let's talk about before we get to the power, the electricity. Let's talk about Will Nobanks.
Every time you see his name, don't you just smile? The guy. Every time you see him, you just want to smile.
Okay, so you played. You lived in Homestead, but your senior year you went to Gables.
I went to Gables High School.
Did you know each other in high school? Because he went to
South Dade.
Right. So you two didn't know each other, even though they were close to each other.
No, right.
And then you both ended up going where?
Carson Newman College in Tennessee. And that's when I met Noah Will Banks, and we hit it off from there.
Okay, what was you played football and baseball. Right. What was your number in football?
92.
And what was Noah Will Banks?
54, I believe.
Yeah, that's correct. Good point. Yeah. And you both were on defense. You played what?
Yeah, I played defensive end. He was a linebacker, but we had the most fun on the special teams because that's kamikaze time.
That's real football.
Yeah.
That makes men.
That's kamikaze time. And Noah would say, listen, man, just run down the field and hit anybody that's in your way. And it doesn't matter. Just run right through them. And following that leadership, I mean, it makes you, it hypes you up. And you get down there and you get physical, man. He's very physical.
So, well, Noah Will Banks, us Miamians, we love you. Keep up the good work in Gainesville. What you did down here will last forever, what you've done.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're talking about power companies.
Yeah.
So there's FP&L who does a great job, but Homestead has their own power.
Yeah.
What is the advantage? And do they?
Well, I'll tell you what, Homestead recently announced that we've got the 3rd lowest electric rate per kilowatt hour in the state, which is pretty impressive.
Right.
Because there was a long time that many people thought that Homestead had much higher rates than any other competitor like FPL. So I was surprised to hear that Homestead has the 3rd lowest electric rate in the state, which is awesome because now we can start promoting, hey, you're going to get lower electric bills. Everybody wants a lower electric bill, just like everybody wants lower taxes.
CRA, got any in Homestead? Do you have one in Homestead?
Yeah. Commuter Driver is the CRA director, very, very involved. A lot of great programs that they put out to the community, and they let everyone know, hey, listen, if you need help with your business, if you're in this area, come by and see us. They've got grant money. So they're very involved in trying to revitalize, everything in Homestead after.
You're still the pandemic. chairman of
the South Dade Chamber.
When's your term up?
Like August.
If you have a problem, whether it's in unincorporated or Homestead, you contact the chamber. If you're a member of the chamber, they will help you deal with elected officials, deal with government issues. That's why chambers are so important.
Right.
If you have not an issue, you don't know who to call Julio in South Dade. He will help direct you. If not, you call Dr.
Les Burke, our new CEO, and he has come out the gate running.
He's a beast. And I tell you what, he's impressive.
Yes, he is.
Just talking about his history, he is a beast. In South Dade is very lucky. South Dade Chamber is very lucky to have him.
Our membership is up. As soon as he got on board, our membership went up.
Kerry Black, we love you.
Yeah,
and thank you for it was passing the buck to him. So it's a great thing. I think it's time to wrap. We've been talking for how long, Tommy?
24 minutes.
24 minutes and rocking. I just want to go. We went over FP&L. We went over South Dade Chamber. We went over your hometown newspaper. Well, that's our term.
Yep.
Your local newspaper, the News Leader. Miami-Dade College. We went over the theater, went over transportation, went over the library, and real estate.
Yeah. A lot of topics, and there's still so much more to talk about. I wish I had an hour with you, but we'll talk about it next
the
time.
rental properties that up and down Leisure City, Modell, they are just beautiful.
Amazing. You look at them and you go, man, where am I at? Am I in Dadeland?
Yeah.
Am I in Dadeland?
One last thing, the farmers market, I forgot his name, Renee.
Farmers market, heritage market, farmers, what?
It's up in
Damari?
No, not Damari. Wrong. I don't remember. Renee, I remember he has that big building, but it doesn't matter. It's just growing. I forgot the location. I go to South Dade probably, when I could consider South Dade, down where you live, probably twice a month. A lot of things. What's happened? The Rotary have something this weekend.
You know what? I'd like to invite you to Rotary. We meet every Wednesday at 12 noon at Capri Restaurant right there in Florida City.
Right off of Chrome, right?
Right off of Chrome. So you're more than welcome to come anytime.
Do I need a passport?
No, just say you know Julio.
I go, I know Julio. They go, which one? There's 4,000 of them. All right, let's close this out.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Always promoting South Dade. Remember, if you want anything to do with the South Dade Chamber, you can always go to the southdadechamber.org. A big shout out to Miami Community Newspapers for doing what they do. We love you and we'll see you soon. Take care.